Silver just hit a record high of $58 per ounce. For most, this sounds like a distant, almost surreal number. Something you might hear about in passing, but never fully grasp. But let me tell you, it's only the beginning. In 2026, silver is expected to break $100 per ounce. And the truth is, most people aren't prepared for what's coming. In 2025, silver prices doubled. It started at around $29 in January, and by the year's end, it hit $58. But here's where it gets interesting. This isn't a fluke or a temporary spike. This is the beginning of a massive shift in the market. While everyone's eyes were on Bitcoin, AI stocks, and the latest tech trends, silver quietly surged. But there's a reason behind this explosive rise, and it's not just driven by speculation. The global silver market has been running a significant supply deficit for years, a trend that's only getting worse. Meanwhile, demand is growing at an unprecedented rate, particularly driven by the green energy revolution, electric vehicles, and an ever-increasing industrial demand. What you're seeing now is just the tip of the iceberg, and when the market catches up, silver will surge even higher, beyond what anyone can predict. But why $100? Why not $80 or $120? There's a method behind this madness. And as the price continues to climb, the real question will become, will you be ready to act? Or will you be one of those who watches it all happen, wishing you had prepared when you had the chance? The next chapter is about to unfold. Let's dive into why $100 isn't just a possibility, it's a certainty. Silver has been in a supply deficit for 6 years straight. Think about that for a moment. 6 years where demand has consistently outpaced production. In 2025 alone, the deficit was projected to be 117.6 million ounces. That's nearly 15% of the total annual mine production, and it's a problem that's only growing. This isn't just a short-term issue. It's been a persistent trend. So, what does that mean for the price of silver? Well, in simple terms, the less supply there is, and the more demand there is, the higher the price will go. It's basic economics, yet for some reason, the silver market has been manipulated for decades, preventing prices from reflecting the true supply-demand reality. Let's talk about the manipulation for a second. Major banks, especially JP Morgan, have been accused of suppressing silver prices. They've done this by shorting the market, flooding the system with paper silver, and creating the illusion of higher supply. But here's the twist. The physical market is starting to break away from the paper market. People are no longer settling for paper promises of silver. They want the real thing. And when that happens, prices begin to explode. In 2025, the shift became undeniable. Shanghai Futures Exchange warehouses reported silver inventories at their lowest levels in a decade. In London, a record volume of silver moved into vaults, tightening supplies even further. Silver-backed ETFs added 200 tons in a single day, the highest inflow since 2022. This is a physical squeeze. Real buyers are demanding real metal, and there simply isn't enough to go around. The current price of silver is $58, but many people still don't understand why it's on the path to $100 in 2026. This isn't some wild guess or hope. It's a calculated prediction based on clear historical patterns and current market conditions. The first reason silver is poised for such dramatic growth is because of the long-standing imbalance in the gold-to-silver ratio. Right now, the ratio sits at 73-1. Meaning it takes 73 ounces of silver to equal the value of 1 ounce of gold. Historically, this ratio averages closer to 50-1, and at times, even 15-1. This discrepancy shows that silver is drastically undervalued compared to gold. If the ratio even returned to the historical 50-1, silver would already be priced at $84, based on gold's current price of $4,200 per ounce. In fact, during precious metal bull markets, this ratio tends to overshoot, which means silver could see a price as high as $140 if we get the same surge we saw in 2011, when the ratio briefly hit 30-1. This isn't a mere possibility. It's a pattern that's played out time and time again throughout history. Silver has always outperformed gold during precious metal bull markets because it's more volatile and has additional industrial demand. While gold is primarily seen as a store of value, silver is both a precious metal and an industrial commodity. As global industries like solar energy and electric vehicles continue to expand, silver's industrial demand will increase, further driving up the price. The numbers don't lie. silver is vastly undervalued, and the momentum is building for a major price explosion. Silver is not just a precious metal for investors. It's an industrial powerhouse, and its industrial demand is growing at an explosive rate. Unlike gold, which is primarily valued for its use as a store of wealth, silver has a unique advantage. It's irreplaceable in numerous high-tech applications. The biggest driver of silver's industrial demand is the green energy revolution. Solar power, for example, relies heavily on silver. Each solar panel requires silver for its photovoltaic cells, and no viable substitute has been found at scale. As the world pushes towards greener energy solutions, silver's role becomes even more critical. In fact, the solar industry alone consumes over 100 million ounces of silver annually, and that number is growing by 15 to 20% every year. This is just one sector where silver is indispensable. Then there's the rise of electric vehicles, EVs. EVs use twice as much silver as traditional vehicles due to their advanced electronics, sensors, and battery management systems. As EV adoption continues to soar, silver demand will skyrocket. And this isn't some far-off prediction. It's already happening. Silver's importance in these industries is undeniable, and this trend is only going to intensify as governments around the world push for a transition to cleaner energy and green technologies. Additionally, 5G infrastructure, which is still being rolled out globally, uses significantly more silver than the previous 4G network. As these technologies expand, silver consumption in the industrial sector will continue to outpace supply. What does this all mean for silver's price? Simple. Higher industrial demand combined with a limited supply means prices are bound to rise. The silver market isn't just driven by investment demand. It's fueled by the relentless need for silver in the technology of tomorrow. For years, silver was the underdog in the precious metals market. It played second fiddle to gold, ignored by the mainstream investment world. But things are changing. The same dynamics that propelled gold to the forefront of investor portfolios are now moving silver into the spotlight. In 2025, silver saw massive inflows into ETFs and physical products. Dealers reported a shortage in physical silver, and premiums on coins and bars spiked as demand outstripped supply. What's most striking is the shift in investor perception. People are finally waking up to silver's potential. For years, gold had the monopoly on precious metals investment, with institutional investors, hedge funds, and even central banks largely ignoring silver. That's starting to change. The reason for this shift is simple. Silver is dramatically undervalued relative to its potential. The gold-to-silver ratio is currently around 73:1, meaning you need 73 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. Historically, this ratio has averaged closer to 50:1, and in times of precious metals bull markets, silver tends to outperform gold. Investors are now catching on to this, and as the financial world faces increasing uncertainty, silver is becoming a more attractive asset class. Why the sudden rush to silver? It's not just the price appreciation potential, it's also silver's position as a hard asset in an increasingly volatile world. While inflation continues to erode the value of fiat currencies, silver acts as a hedge against currency debasement. More investors are now looking at silver as a way to protect their wealth in an unpredictable market. What's happening now is only the beginning. As more institutional players start adding silver to their portfolios, the floodgates will open, and silver's price will rise sharply. Silver isn't just a commodity, it's a critical piece in the larger puzzle of the global financial system. As the world moves away from the dominance of the US dollar and toward more diversified reserves, silver is poised to take on an even more significant role. The decline of the dollar as the world's reserve currency is no longer a distant possibility. It's a looming reality. Countries around the world, from Russia and China to the nations in the BRICS alliance, are actively seeking alternatives. With central banks hoarding gold and increasing their silver reserves, the writing is on the wall. The world's monetary system is shifting. Silver, as an industrial metal with intrinsic value, has a unique position in this transition. Unlike gold, which is primarily viewed as a store of value, silver serves two purposes. It's a store of value and a key component in industries such as electronics, solar energy, and electric vehicles. This dual demand, both as an investment asset and a vital industrial commodity, makes silver even more valuable in the face of a dollar collapse. As central banks seek to diversify their reserves, silver will undoubtedly see increased buying pressure. The US dollar's loss of reserve currency status means more countries will look to silver and gold to safeguard their economies against hyperinflation and currency devaluation. Silver is already the go-to metal for countries looking to hedge against this risk, and this demand will only increase as the global economy continues to shift. The growing shift away from the dollar and toward commodities like silver is a major catalyst for the upcoming bull run. Silver's industrial uses, combined with its growing role as a global store of value, will push its price to new heights, and the world's economic rebalancing is just getting started. Silver's upward trajectory is not just speculation. It's a culmination of all the factors we've discussed. We are standing at the precipice of a silver bull market, unlike any we've seen before. But to understand how silver will inevitably rise to $100, and perhaps far beyond, we need to look at the final catalysts pushing this metal toward its future price targets. First, we have to consider the monumental shift in investor behavior. For years, silver has been overlooked, with investors flocking to gold, stocks, and other assets. But now, there's a surge in investment demand as people realize the vast underpricing of silver. As the world grapples with inflation, currency devaluation, and a loss of confidence in fiat systems, silver is becoming the new safe haven. As institutional investors begin to shift funds towards silver, the scarcity of the asset will become even more pronounced. Silver is not like other commodities. Its market is relatively small, at least compared to gold. And when capital floods into a small market, prices move sharply. Silver's tight market, combined with its expanding industrial demand, creates the perfect storm for an explosive price move. The other crucial factor driving silver to $100 is its technical chart pattern. As we've already seen in 2025, silver broke through significant resistance levels and is now entering price discovery mode. When this happens, prices often skyrocket as there's no longer any overhead resistance to limit the climb. This technical breakout, combined with the growing supply deficit and soaring industrial demand, has the potential to propel silver to heights previously considered unattainable. The countdown to $100 is already underway. By 2026, silver could easily find itself trading at or above this level, with the possibility of exceeding $150 if the market truly takes off. And once silver hits $100, the momentum could lead to prices well beyond that. Remember, during precious metal bull markets, silver often outperforms gold and makes larger percentage moves. When this bull run gains steam, you'll wish you'd bought in sooner. Now that you understand the fundamentals behind silver's meteoric rise, the next crucial step is deciding how to position yourself in this market. The opportunity is here, and it's time to take action before the price skyrockets beyond what most can afford. Here's what you need to do. 1. Take action immediately. The silver market is moving fast, and as history shows, the window for buying at current levels doesn't stay open forever. $58 an ounce may seem high compared to past prices, but in hindsight, it will look like a bargain. The clock is ticking, and by 2026, when silver hits $100 or beyond, you'll regret not acting sooner. So, buy silver now, while the price is still reasonable. 2. Focus on physical silver. When it comes to precious metals, physical silver is king. Buy silver coins and bars you can actually hold in your hand. Coins like the American Silver Eagles, Canadian Maple Leafs, and Austrian Philharmonics are recognized globally and have high liquidity. These coins and bars will not only hold their value, they'll be a lifeline when the fiat system begins to falter. You can find reputable dealers such as APMEX, JMB Bullion, and SD Bullion to get your silver. While there is a premium over the spot price, it's a small price to pay for the safety and assurance that you're holding the physical asset. 3. Diversify your portfolio with silver mining stocks. While owning physical silver is crucial, consider adding exposure to silver mining stocks. These stocks offer a leveraged play on silver's price moves. As silver prices rise, the profits of mining companies explode, offering significant upside potential. However, keep in mind the risks involved in mining companies, as operational issues and geopolitical challenges can affect their performance. 4. Don't miss the opportunity. Plan for the future. Take a portion of your wealth, ideally 10 to 20%, and allocate it to silver. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to add a true store of value to your portfolio. The demand for silver is only going to increase in the coming years, and with the supply deficit growing, the upward pressure on prices will only continue. As the world wakes up to the silver bull market, don't be left behind. Stay informed, buy smart, and ensure your financial future is secured in the rising silver market. Share this information with your friends, family, and loved ones. Let them know what's happening before it's too late. If you found this video valuable, subscribe to the channel for more updates and insights. Leave a comment below. Do you own silver? Are you planning to invest more? Share your thoughts with the community.